Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show, and I want to invite you to my first ever public book signing. I'll be doing a special reading, question and answer session, and a signing of my new book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness on Thursday, March 20th at Visible Voice Books, located at 1023 Kenilworth Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44113. I'll have a limited supply of Little Victories on hand to sign. I'll be reading selections from Little Victories, as well as telling stories and reading some material that was left out of Little Victories. I'll end with a Q&A session that will be a no-holds-barred affair. The signing will be from 7 to 9 p.m. at Visible Voice Books, 1023 Kenilworth Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44113. Come out, have some fun, and be a part of a rare appearance from me, Chris Aiken.
It's Varga right here on your Classic Metal Show with the Mad Scientist. And want to thank, what's this guy's first name again?
Joe
Varga. I think he just ought to change his name to Scott. That way I'll just remember it much more easily.
That's the only Varga we know, right?
That's the only one that I'm familiar with.
Sure.
Any relation to Scott?
No, not at all, but I was more than happy to give him the CD just because it said Varga across the cover.
Nice. Did he ever hear of them either?
No.
Yeah. So
no, of course not.
You're in
he's a rap fan. He listens to rap.
Really? He's into rap?
Oh, dude. He's hardcore into rap.
He's like Heavy D and the Boys.
Dude, every time I get in his car, it's some fucking mooly music shit. Like,
did you say mooly music?
Yeah. Isn't that what rap is called?
Is it? Are you in the Sopranos now?
Well, a little bit.
The Moulin.
Oh, you know, I'm just that's the term I know.
Nice. All right. Well, they have I mentioned in the chat room they have kind of a Megadeth-ish sound.
They do. They're sort of Megadeth, sort of progressive. The guitar playing is very progressive metal,
right? But
I mean the riffs or the rhythms rather are very metal, you know, very thrashy type stuff. They were good, man. I'll have to get you the old records because I'm pretty sure if you liked what you just heard there, you would like them.
Yeah, when I listened to that, you know, and this is the first I'm hearing of it, it's just you know, like I said, it's very Megadeth-ish.
Sure, dude. You know me. I have a whole arsenal of bands that nobody remembers but me, and Varga was definitely one of them.
Excellent. Well, I know you want to get into a segment here, but before we do that, just before the interview, I mentioned on Netflix, I ran across a stand-up comedian special. I never heard of this guy before, but his name was Chris Porter.
Okay.
And he's just an angry guy.
Can relate.
And I think that if you watch it, you'll enjoy it. I'm not going to try to, you know, tell his jokes or anything, but regardless of that, I just thought he would make a good guest on the CMS. So I looked him up and sent him an email to see if I get a response. But I would like to bring this guy on the show because he fits right in with what we do.
I'll bring his ass on.
He's just very sarcastic, very you know, pretty much hates people. He thinks, you know, there's just a lot of stupid people out there, and you know, he's like he's one of these people. He is one of the most cutting edge type comics that we haven't had in a long time since Sam Kinison.
Okay, very cool. Where's he from?
He's originally, I think he's from Kansas, Missouri.
All right.
Never heard of the guy, you know, didn't know anything about him. I guess he won like a last comic standing contest or something, and you know, they gave him his own stand-up special.
Okay.
Which he does in his hometown. I guess it's Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas. Don't know which one, but I thought it was hysterical. I watched it twice back to back.
I'll have to check it out. I'll check it out tomorrow.
He's right out the gate.
I'm in, dude. You know me. I'm anything that's angry, I love.
Yeah, and he's one of these guys. He doesn't laugh at his own jokes.
Okay.
He just spews it out there, and then he's like angry about it. You know.
Okay.
Just give you an idea. He's like, you know, he goes, I go to Starbucks every day, He said most people that go to Starbucks are not in the greatest mood. They need their coffee fix.
Sure.
If you're brand new to shopping at Starbucks, which I understand there's a few of you, just step the fuck back until you can figure out how the process works. And don't be asking me drink questions because I don't know. If I knew the answer, I'd buy one of these machines and make it myself. You think they're giving me a deal at $5 a cup? He said, pick a flavor, match it up with an Italian word, and step to the side. So that's the kind of thing he is.
I need to hear this. I will be looking it up tomorrow.
Chris Porter.
Excellent.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I will be watching tomorrow.
All right. Well, we got about 25 minutes before our next interview here. And so I want to hear about the Anger Chris Aiken week. And,
okay.
This is the first time we're going to get to actually use this bumper.
All right, cool. There's a request in the chat room that we need a Snatch Chat bumper. Dude, I'm in a total fucking sexed up porn fucking drunk stupor tonight. I'm just ready to talk about pussy. Pussy.
Isn't that like the greatest word ever?
Cunt. Roast beef.
Pictures of snatch shoots. The snatch.
You got 3 inches of moist skin flaps, and we'll do anything for that.
Is that true, Chris?
Pretty much, man. There's something to be said about pussy.
Right.
That's for sure. Wow.
Wheezy in his bumpers.
Wheezy is the man.
He is. All right. Well, what transpired in the week of Chris Aiken?
It has been a party week.
Now, you didn't plan on it. It just sort of happened this way.
Wait a minute. Stop. Look in the fucking...
I see that.
How can that already be made?
Did she make that? She had to have made that.
That is fucking hysterical.
Would that be considered 4 little moolies dancing in the dirt?
That is really making me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
It's Snatch Chat time.
Right.
I can't believe there's already graphics for this. She says she Googled it.
Okay.
So someone heard of Snatch Chat.
Apparently.
Wow.
All right.
Damn, man. So anyway.
Yes.
On to my week. It really, not that there's ever...
Hang on a second. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill. Should Chris's theme song be slowed down by Ozzy Osbourne from Bark at the Moon?
Theme song, Bark at the Moon?
That could be. I certainly see the moon enough these days.
The song Slow Down.
Slow down?
From Bark at the Moon.
Oh, I gotcha. I don't know that I know that song, Tim, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you do.
Slow down?
Yeah, slow down. You're moving way too fast. You know that song.
Oh, yeah. I know that one. Yes, I know that one. Sorry.
Well, thanks for calling, Tim.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about a lot of stuff, but obviously I'm not wanted. Hail and kill.
Oh, wow.
Good. He's finally getting it.
Wow.
He's finally getting it.
I guess I'm not wanted. Gee whiz. All right.
So anyway, on to partying. Was definitely one of those weeks for me where just it made sense to not be home.
Okay.
For lack of a better term, was there was just something that was coming up every single night, man. Where do you want to start? You want to go backwards to forwards or forwards to back?
Let's start with the beginning of the week.
Okay. Well, I mean, I really started partying this week on Tuesday. And it really was unintentional. It was just one of those that, my friend Scott Varga, as him and I usually go and run around on Wednesdays.
Right.
Go and we hit the bar and whoever wants to come can come. Well, for whatever reason, we both were kind of more in the mood to go Tuesday this week. For no real reason. other than we just wanted to go and get a beer and get a sandwich and whatever and just, be out, I guess. So we went over to our normal stomp, and we were there like 30 minutes at the most. And the club that we always go to was like, "Oh, you guys got to go. We're having a private party." We're like, "All right." So, most people they'd eat their food and they'd go home, right?
Sure.
No, we of course go to another club.
Right.
And then it just, for whatever reason, it was on. It was one of those nights where the drinks were tasting really, really good, and they were coming really, really fast, and we were pounding drinks. I mean, pounding drinks.
Well, what were you drinking?
Some beers and then bunches of shots.
Lots of what?
Fireball.
Okay.
I'm in a Fireball mode this week.
All right.
And I must have drank 50 shots of Fireball this week.
Really? That's a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, it was not one of my better weeks for the booze.
Sure.
That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, we were there at this club, and of course, me with the stupid jukebox.
Sure.
I'm driving people absolutely nuts. I didn't go with the dirty stuff this week, but there was we get in this club, and it's like senior citizens night.
Okay.
I think it was like a businessman's dinner night or something at this place. All these people are in there, and they're all gray-haired old people. And so they're playing like just shitty music, like fucking Pink and all soft music.
Sure.
Last Dance of Mary Jane and just stuff that'll put you to sleep, right?
Sure.
So you know how on those touch tunes machines you have where you can skip to be the next one?
Right. Do you pay a premium for that?
You pay, it's like an extra credit or whatever.
Yeah, you pay a premium so you can get your song played first.
Right. Well,
it's
of
like
course,
it's like a fast pass at the amusement park.
Exactly. Well, I'm fast passing. It's going from Last Dance with Mary Jane to Strength Beyond Strength from Pantera.
Nice.
Or something by Dark Throne or Cannibal Corpse, or I was just killing with all these like really heavy songs.
Right.
And I'm telling you, me and Scotty have the best time just watching the people get up and leave.
Right. Driving them right out of the place.
Get out.
Technology is a great thing. Now that these jukeboxes, you don't have to load them with songs. They just go out to the internet database and go get it.
Yep.
So it's a plus and it's a detriment at the same time.
Well, the detriment is on the club, really.
That's my point.
Yeah, the club though. I mean, I know how these things work, and the club can block anything they want to.
Right.
And they don't have to block it by song or by band. They can just say no death metal, no rap, no metal. They can block whatever they want. They're just too lazy to do it.
Or they don't expect anybody to come in there and actually do it.
Yeah.
Play something that's extreme, I guess.
Yeah, well, they think wrong. So we were in there and we're running people out with the music, and we are just throwing down. I ended up getting a good head full of alcohol, and then it really got to be on where you saw the picture of me kissing the mannequin, didn't you?
Yeah. It kind of reminded me an episode of King of the Hill where Bobby was making out with his cousin's makeup head doll.
Yeah, it was just we're in this club, and they have like a little stage, and up in the corner of the stage is this chick mannequin thing. And I don't know why, but I was fixated on this thing. I was just locked in on this fucking mannequin. So at some point I was like, bring the camera, dude. I'm gonna go make out with the mannequin. And Scotty's like, what? He literally was just like, what are you fucking doing? But literally I just walked right up on it and stuck my tongue in its mouth and
man.
Just being a goofball. But I mean, that night it was fun. We just threw down a lot. We drank a lot, and there was a band that was playing, and it was kind of like a jam band.
Okay.
And we just rocked out with the jam band. Really, we stayed till way later than we should have. I think it was like 11:30, 12 o'clock or so. On a Tuesday.
Right.
Just rocking out with the jam band and drinking extremely heavily.
Right. Hail and kill, caller, you're on the air.
Did they have Harry Chapin's Death Wench on this jukebox? Hail and kill. Hail and kill, boys. It's Tim James calling from Sydney, Australia. How are you?
Well, thanks for calling, Tim.
Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And hand job!
There goes Tim.
There goes Tim. So anyway, for the long and the short of it, that was Tuesday. Wednesday, as we talked about earlier.
Now let me ask you something. Is your boy Scotty married?
No.
Oh, he's not married. Okay. Well, that explains it.
He made the smart move that you and I did and got divorced.
Like recently?
No, like I think 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was thinking there's no wife in the world that would tolerate their husband dragging in at 12 or 1 on a Tuesday night drunk.
Well, you know what? With his ex, she can fucking die of cancer. I hate that bitch more than any bitch on this planet.
Right. Wow.
Any bitch on this planet. There's no worse fucking subhuman cunt than Scotty's ex-wife.
Wow.
She is I fucking hate her. I pray to God for cancer for that fucking whore.
Okay.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even saying it as a joke. I hate her more than anything.
Really?
Anything in the entire fucking world. Just a twat.
All right. Well, that's pretty powerful words, Mr. Aiken.
That's one that if you could punch a chick and get away with it, I would have already done it 50 times. I hate that bitch.
So how do you really feel?
Dude, I'll tell you why. I mean, I have no problem with it, and I don't think he'll have a problem with it. So his dad died, it's been 7 years ago, I guess. Or no, whatever it was that they broke up, so probably 9 years ago.
Okay.
And she had literally broken up or decided to get divorced and served Scotty and blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks before his dad died. His dad died suddenly. It wasn't like a long-term illness. It was a literally heart attack at the kitchen table thing.
Okay.
So, Scotty's my closest friend in the world. And we were, the funeral comes up, and you know how that all goes,
sure.
man. Family, friends, out of town, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Everybody's there, right?
Right.
So they we're at the funeral. I come walking in, and this fucking bitch starts pretending like everything's fine, and she's treating me like a fucking douchebag friend. It's like, oh, the family's so glad you came. I was like, the family? Who the fuck are you, you fucking whore? She was pretending
like she was really bereaved.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that she was still a part, like it was like an attention grab. Like she was still part of the family.
Right.
And it was like, you fucking whore. Don't fucking front on me. Scotty's my best friend. We've been best friends since we were fucking 4.
Right.
I know that you're a fucking cheating twat. So eat a bag of dicks, you fucking cunt. And I was not. I didn't really say anything. I just walked off on her at first.
Right.
So fast forward a little bit to the when the priest speaks and whatever, it was more of a traditional service. Priest speaks, families on one side, friends on the other side, and in the back and whatever. And blah, 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 blah. So the priest is up speaking, and Scotty's son Jared was like 1.5 years, 2 years old. However old is the youngest that a kid can run around. Okay, whatever age that is.
2 years old.
Yeah, so right around there. Jared's running back and forth while the priest is speaking. She just fucking sits there. Doesn't get him. Doesn't, take him out, nothing. So then, at some point, Scotty's mom gets up to speak. Again, Jared's running around like in front of the casket and whatnot, right? Finally, Jared climbs up on the fucking casket. It's like, wake up, Grandpa, wake up, Grandpa. Really? Everybody's fucking freaked the fuck out. Wow. This stupid bitch does not get up and get her fucking kid. I ended up getting up and getting Jared. And I took Jared out and I handed him my cell phone and whatever. I was like, here, play with this.
Right.
You know, because, I mean, what do you have at a fucking funeral? You don't have anything.
Sure.
You know, I was like, here, just play with the fucking buttons and blah, blah, blah. So I get them out, you know, they finish the service, whatever, you know, everybody's leaving, you know, everybody leaves. And I was one of the last people there. And this bitch was like, just want to thank you for fucking helping out with Jared. And I was like, you're a stupid fucking whore. Get out of my fucking face. No one here fucking likes you. I don't even know why you're fucking here. And I mean, I just went off on her.
Wow.
And she fucking, you know, ran out like kind of crying. Because I mean, I lit her the fuck up. and I turned around and right there was Scotty's mom. And I was like, oh, fuck. You know, so I went to start to apologize to her, and she's like, don't even, I wish I'd have said the same thing.
Nice. Hail and kill, caller, you're on the air.
Right? What is wrong with today? That's exactly what's wrong with today's society when people don't discipline their kids. Like, I'm not the most perfect parent in the world, and I'm sure Chris isn't either. But, you know, there'd be no way we'd let our daughter do that at a funeral. But I understand the kid might be traumatized by the fact that his grandpa is dead. But secondly, Chris, who would you rather spend time with, this lady, or would you rather read emails from Mark Nero? Kill and kill.
I honestly think I'd rather fucking spend time with Mark Nero. I think I'd rather Mark was my fucking in-house lover than fucking spend a minute talking to fucking Scotty's ex.
Wow.
I honestly think she is the most hated person in my world.
Sure.
More than anybody. And that's sad. You know, that's really sad that, you know, I literally got divorced from somebody who I hate a million times less than somebody that my friend got divorced from.
Right.
That's fucking pathetic.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's why I hate this bitch. And plus, she was always a fucking nightmare. You know, we would go out to shows or whatever. I remember one time specifically, me and Scotty went out to see Enough's Enough one night. And she hated Enough's Enough, but would not just let us go.
Right.
Had to be a part of it. Had to fucking go. Went to the show and just could not stop bitching the whole fucking time.
Right.
And when I say the whole fucking time, I mean from the minute we're in the car. How much further is it to this club? What kind of club is this? Is this a shitty club or is it a nice club? Are they going to have good drinks for us or not? Do you have good seats? Are we going to meet the band? Because I don't really want to stay to meet the band. I was like, shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking cunt.
And that's when you pull over to the side of the road, open the door, toss her out, and then drive away.
Dude, I'd have fucking tossed her in front of the car and run her over. Stupid bitch. I hated her, man, and still do. Literally to this day now, you know, Scotty, as you can imagine, has said to me, you know, don't say nothing bad in front of her son. And obviously I honor that. You know, I do not badmouth her in front of her son. But I swear to God, when she rolls up, like if I'm at Scotty's house or whatever, and she rolls up, I get in my car and leave.
Right.
Because I don't think I can not say something bad to her.
Sure.
And there's been several times that she'll roll up. I don't even say hello. I just get in my car and fucking go.
There you go.
You know, because she's a fucking twat, and I wish her death.
All right. Okay, well, let's get back to some more happier times in the week of Chris Aiken. So that wraps up Tuesday night. Then Wednesday rolls around. Then what?
Well, Wednesday was sort of planned. John, like I said, it was John's birthday Wednesday. And he really wasn't doing anything. And I had just spent a bunch of money on Tuesday, so I really didn't want to go out on Wednesday, too.
Yeah.
So we just talked, and we've been kicking around as, you know, I'm a wrestling fan. I love the wrestling.
Sure.
And that WWE Network launched this week. So, you know me, I literally bought it it launched at 9 o'clock. I owned it by 9 o'clock. You know, could not wait to get the Wrestling Network. And so I've been watching, I've literally watched probably 100 hours of wrestling this week.
Right. So between partying and watching wrestling, did you get any work done?
I did actually work. I actually launched a site this week, Brown Steak Music, if people want to go see it. But yeah, I actually did do some work, but all while I was working this week, there was wrestling on in the background.
Sure.
It just never was turned off. But John is a big fan too, and him and I just goofing around for months. We've been talking about, we got to do this fucking podcast. You know, just something, take old wrestling video, turn it on, and just do commentary on what we're watching, because it was so much better than what is out there today.
Right.
So it was just this idea, and John was like, what are you doing Wednesday? Let's go do something for my birthday. And I was like, well, why don't you just come over to the Palace and, you know, we'll do the wrestling thing, since I have the Wrestling Network. And he was like, yeah, that sounds fun. So he came over, and by, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock or whatever, we were watching wrestling and dropping beers as fast as we could.
Right.
So, and I mean, you heard the podcast or some of it. I doubt you listened to all of it.
No, I didn't listen to 3 hours worth. No, but I did listen to a little of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just what it was. It was just us being goofy and, you know, just kind of partying a little bit here at the house. And, you know, but yet it was day 2 of partying.
Sure.
So that was basically Wednesday. So I had to dry out Thursday.
Okay.
You know, I had to chill out Thursday. So I took Thursday off, just worked. But then I really had no plans on being out of the house at all this weekend, I mean. And got to be yesterday, and I was just kind of working through at home, and my girl Kelly pops up on my Facebook, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing, you know, I'm just working. And she's like, yeah, I'm at home, you know, I'm not doing anything. She was off yesterday. So I was like, hey, you want to go get some dinner? You know, and thinking, you know, we'll just go get some dinner, right? Well, it didn't work out that way, of course. You know, I go by her place, I pick her up. We started out thinking we might go to dinner, but it really just worked out to, she knew of this band that was playing, like a blues band called the Juke Hounds.
The Juke Hounds.
Yeah, the Juke Hounds.
It isn't like the Juju Hounds.
No, it was the Juke Hounds.
Is it like the Ashbury Jukes?
Yeah, exactly.
Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
I'm a big wrestling fan. Whenever I walk around, it looks like some invisible guy's trying to wrestle me to the ground. Hail and kill.
It's awesome.
He's pretty funny for a blind guy.
Yeah, he is. There you go, Michael Butler, you dumb fuck.
Right.
But no, the reason she knew of this band that was playing, and there was one reason. She knew that she had to work today.
Okay.
She had a 13-hour day coming up for her, so she knew she had to work. So when she mentioned that this band was playing, the appeal to it was that they were playing early.
All right.
They were playing from 7 until 10.
Wow, that is early.
So that was kind of the thought was, you know, I'll pick her up early. We'll go out and, you know, maybe we'll get some dinner or we'll have a couple drinks or whatever we're going to do. And then we'll, you know, and then we'll call it a night early. You know, that was the plan.
Sure.
Well, you know me and plans. They don't necessarily work out.
How's that old saying go? The best laid plans have been known to go astray.
Well, they went seriously astray. What ends up happening is we get to the bar. And I'll tell you what, I got to say this about Kelly. She's a horrible, horrible fucking influence on me. Because unlike everybody else that I run around with, she doesn't drink beer. She only drinks whiskey.
So she and Lemmy are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, she drinks Jack and water. That's what she drinks. And needless to say, I generally drink whatever everybody else is drinking. So it turns into whiskey fest every time I'm hanging with her.
What if she drank Jesse James whiskey? Would you still partake?
I'd probably have to not spend time with her anymore. I'd be like, I'm sorry, but your taste is terrible.
Right.
You know, which I should say anyway, hence liking me.
Sure. Sure.
But no, so we're at this club, and this band is playing, and I will for a local band that's from Kent, Kent, which is way far away from Cleveland, or not way far, but it's a good ways away from Cleveland.
Yeah.
This was a really good band. I mean, they were definitely one of the better local bands I've heard in a very long time. Good stuff.
Did they do originals, or are they like a cover band, or what did they do?
Mishmash. A lot of, I mean, I knew some of the songs. They did some Hendrix, and they did some Rolling Stones, and a Stevie Ray Vaughan tune.
Sure.
And then they mixed in their own songs. And I'll be honest, even the ones that were other people's songs, people had to tell me that they were other people's songs. I didn't know. That is not my strong suit, is blues rock. But it sounded real good.
Good. Hail and kill, caller, you're on the air.
Okay, this is a serious question, right? Is it very un-rock and roll to drink Jack Daniels Coke?
No. I've drank quite a few Jack and Cokes backstage with my friend Don Dawkins. So no, I don't think it's very un-rock and roll.
Why do you think it is, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, years and years ago, and I know, I don't take this stuff literally, but years and years ago, I read an interview with Nicky where he goes, "You don't drink Jack Daniels with Coke. That's a sin," And I'm thinking, I'm not into straight JD. I love JD, but I love it with Coke.
Sure. Well, yeah. Chris will tell you that if you don't at least have one Jack and Coke with Dawkins, you're banned from the dressing room.
Yeah, you don't get passes to the next show.
Well, I can only dream of that. It's not going to happen to me in the near future. Hail and kill.
Hey Tim, don't run away yet. Are you still there?
Yeah, he's gone.
Damn it. I actually have a question for Tim.
He'll be back.
I'm sure he'll be back 5 more times.
Right.
But no, so we're at the place, and we're drinking Jack, and she's drinking Jack and water, I'm drinking Jack and Coke. And then the shots start coming.
Well, you're already drinking whiskey, so what kind of shots are you going to drink then?
Well, we're doing Fireball. We're shots of Fireball that we're chasing with fucking Jack and Coke or whatever.
Oh, there's your pal Tim. He's calling back. Okay, Tim.
What you talking about, Willis?
Tim.
Yes.
Somebody emailed me a serious question to ask you. They said, instead of spending $4,000 to see Motley Crue once, why wouldn't you take that $4,000, fly to the States, and see them at least 5 times?
Because, and as I keep reiterating, there's no guarantee that this is actually going to happen. I've got to get there first. But the thing is, because I get to hang out with Nicky, and that to me is like the coolest thing in the world. You kidding me?
No, I don't agree. No.
Rock royalty.
Well, he's my John Lennon. So, if you could hang out with John Lennon, wouldn't you? If you could hang out with Jimmy Page,
I've already done that.
Wouldn't it be the same thing?
I've already done that. I didn't pay $4,000 to do it either.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, you're fortunate through the Classic Metal Show and through the things that you do to know these people like Ronnie and do these interviews and all that kind of stuff. You need to step out of the CMS to see that, Joe Blogsers like me don't have that access. And so
but Tim, you could get access like that through Make-A-Wish.
Dude, I don't have a disease that's going to kill me. I don't even have a disease apart from, crazy stupidity sometimes.
Well, let me ask you something, Tim, now that you bring the whole Nikki Sixx thing up. Is it more exciting to, say, rub elbows or talk to Nikki Sixx while Motley Crue is active, or would it still have the same thrill for you, say, after Motley Crue is gone and, say, Nikki is out there doing something solo and you got to hang out with him then? Or would it be the same in both situations?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
So why don't you wait till the popularity of the Crue thing dies down, Nikki's not doing anything, and you might have an off chance at catching him at a book signing or a solo show or something?
Yeah, but when's he going to come to Australia to do that?
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and as I keep saying, there's no guarantee that I'm even gonna be able to do that. You know, I've got to work for it first, and I'm not gonna put my family at risk just to do something like that. You know, I mean, you know, if my family comes first.
Well, Tim, since you're on the air here for a minute, why don't you go ahead and plug?
Yep.
Neeley, you don't even know this. Tim has big news this week, and I'm talking actually legitimate big news.
Really?
Yeah. So, Tim, go ahead and plug your legitimate big news.
Okay. Well, it might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it sure means a lot to me. The whole catalog's just been released on iTunes. All 4 albums are there, up there now. Just search TJ James in the iTunes store, and it'll come up. It's really cool. It's joining the digital age. But it's funny because all my sales are still hard copy at gigs. I mean, I played last night, and people were buying CDs left and right. So, but it is up there, and before there was like one album. My latest album was up there, but now they're all up there.
Nice.
So, it's very exciting. It's very cool.
Excellent.
So if people want to buy the finest work of Tim James, it's TJ James on iTunes.
Yep, and there's some good rock there. But I was going to talk to you guys about Soundwave. But did you guys want to talk about Soundwave? Like I saw Soundwave last week. And
Tim, I'm sure you're going to call back 10 more times. Let us finish this segment, and then we'll talk about Soundwave. Call back.
Okay.
All right.
Hail and kill.
All right. So now we're up to Friday night.
Yeah, we're up to last night, and band starts playing. We start drinking pretty hard. Well, band ends playing at 10 o'clock. Nobody's going anywhere.
Sure.
Literally, we ended up, for the longest time, we couldn't get a seat in the bar. There was just nowhere to sit. But once the band left for like a temporary second, we were able to get to the bar, like seats at the bar. And then it was much more comfortable to start drinking a lot harder.
Now when you're out, drinking and, as you put it, drinking harder.
Yeah.
Is there any forethought, concern about how are we going to get home?
No, not at all.
None at all.
None.
Okay.
No, get there.
All right.
Ken has cabs. We're good.
Well, I'm just asking the question.
No, I mean, we knew one way or the other. We were literally 4 blocks from her house.
Okay.
Maybe 5 blocks. I mean, less than 2 miles. I'll put it that way.
All right.
We were close to her house, and B, Kent has cabs.
All right.
So A and B, we're covered.
Okay.
So we start drinking and throwing down at the club. And this 10 o'clock ending time gets later and later and later, and everything keeps getting pushed back. It gets pushed back to finally, it's as long as I get home by 11, as long as I get home by 12, as long as I'm in bed by 1. So finally it gets to be about 1:30, I guess. And I finally said to her, I was like, you've got to go. You got to go. You got to get up shortly to go to work. And she's like, all right, fine, let's go. So we go. And by this point, I had slowed down a little bit. So I was like, okay. So we go to get in my car. We walk back to my car, figuring we'd drive to her house, take the car to her house. Go to get in the fucking car. Don't you know that fucking piece of shit will not start?
Didn't you have this problem a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do about it then?
Jumped it and went.
Okay.
And I was, I'm notorious for, I have an old hunk of shit car right now, and it's not one of these that has the lights that turn off by themselves, and I'm notorious for leaving the fucking lights on.
Oh, nice.
And that's what I've killed this car at least 4 times with the fucking lights.
Sure.
But this time I was very careful not to do it, so it was not that. It was not the fucking lights. I don't know what it was, but it just wouldn't, or I do know what it was. I'll get to that. But I turn the key, fucking nothing. I was like, motherfuck. So, literally, we had run into an old friend, and I use the word friend loosely, but an old friend in the club. So I ran back to the club to see if he was still there, if we could get a jump. Of course, he's not there. Well, now we're pushing 2 a.m., and she's got to go to work at 7. So I literally call a cab company. Fucking cab shows up 10 minutes later or whatever it is. And I just said to the guy, I said, look, dude, can you jump my car? I've got cables. Fucking, we'll pay the cab fare, but I'd rather have my car.
Right.
This fucking asshole's like, no, can't do that. Can't do that.
Right.
I was like, what do you mean you fucking can't do that?
Just open the hood. I'll connect the cables and we'll go.
Yeah. And of course, he won't do it. Will not do it. So I had to leave the fucking car, and go take her home.
Sure.
So we finally go home, and so you would think, okay, it's 2 o'clock, 2:30 by the time we get home. What do you think happens next?
I don't know. She starts drinking more.
We start drinking more.
Oh, boy.
We end up with drinks. And we're just bullshitting and talking and hanging out and whatever, right? Finally, she looks at her watch and is like, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we got to go to fucking bed.
5 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
So we go to bed. All of a sudden, alarm is going off. It's fucking 7:45 or something. 7:30, 7:45. I'm like, all right, nobody's moving. I'm not moving. Good. But then it gets to be 8:30.
She didn't go to work?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Finally, I said to her, I said, it's fucking 9 o'clock. You have to get up.
Right.
So she's like, she begrudgingly gets up and is just like, I fucking hate you. So she gets up and gets ready, and she has a friend that takes her to her job, and her friend shows up, and her friend takes me back to my car. Okay, I say goodbye, whatever, and her friend takes me back to her car. So the friend, nice enough dude, he works for a company that does like landscaping and plowing and this kind of shit, right? Picks me up in a truck. He's taking me back. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, can you give me a jump? Oh, I can't do that with the company truck.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I was like, what the fuck am I into? I've never heard anybody say they couldn't jump my car, let alone twice in a night.
Yeah, with the company truck.
With the company truck. What the fuck do people think happens? Do they think that the fucking battery blows up when you jump a car? So he's not going to jump me.
Okay.
But I had him drop me off at my car anyway.
All right.
And he drops me off at the car, and I lifted the hood up, and I just had a hunch. I put the key in the thing this morning for whatever reason, and all the lights came on. And then when I turned the thing, I was like, oh, it just immediately died.
Yeah.
So I had a fucking hunch, and I opened up the hood, and I fucking, with my fist, I banged on the fucking battery and on the terminals.
The battery cable. You just weren't making a good connection.
Yeah, just wasn't making a good connection. So then I just started my car up and I was off and running.
Nice.
But that was my night last night. A running, drunken, silly debauchery.
Sure.
Once again.
Well, you need to go take your battery cables off and dunk them in some baking soda and water.
I know. There's a lot of things I need to do.
Clean it up.
Off a cliff.
Clean it up.
Yep. But anyway, that was my week this week.
Wow.
It was full of boozing, full of partying.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you.
Anyway, I'm being called out right now for calling her a bad influence on me.
Yeah. Well, I said that at the beginning of the show, didn't I?
Yeah.
Said your friends suck. They're a bad influence on you when you're trying to live a good, clean Christian lifestyle.
That's it. I'm just trying to honor the words of the Lord.
Right.
And these people like Kelly get in my life and just fuck me up.
Right. I will not put a thief in my mouth to steal my brains.
Jesus. Where's that from?
That's actually from the original True Grit movie with what's his name? The cowboy guy.
John Wayne?
John Wayne. There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
He's very nice.
All right, dude. Well, sounds like quite a week.
Yeah, it definitely was I'm not going to relive it next week, that's for sure. I am definitely going to slow down this week.
Yeah, so we'll play Slow Down later in the show just to remind you.
Yeah, of course.
Nice. Well, we got to get into this Propane.
Okay, cool.
Propane has what? They got a new record, right?
Let me look this up real quick. We should at least plug what the new record is called, right?
Sure.
Let me see here. Propane. The new record would be called, God damn if they had a lot of members, The Final Revolution.
Okay.
They really have had a lot of members. Holy shit.
It's like Whitesnake.
Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 members.
Yeah, they're not quite up into Whitesnake or LA Guns numbers yet.
No, they're getting there though.
All right. Well, let's play a new song from Propane. This one is just called Death Wish.
All right.
It's Death Wish from Propane exclusively here
on your classic metal show. Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?